Why, good morning. I'm Andrew Ledford, and this is episode 73 of It's Coffee Time with Andrew. Today, I wanted to go over a few things. I'm always like to check my streams here, see if we are live. Everybody changes their platforms. So there we go. And there's always a little latency, some more so than others. But today I wanted to go over the process I use for writing blogs. It's ideal if you have a content calendar, and that's usually what I will try to set people up on. And I even have one that I work off of myself. But I tend to do my most creative blogs when I'm inspired by something I read or a conversation I have or thinking back on processes that I've worked through, especially processes from other businesses. And again, this is Coffee Time with Andrew, so a little sip of coffee. The blogging process, like I say, often starts with an idea from somewhere in the universe, and then I start to develop it. I'll usually have something to say, and it's oftentimes a bit contrarian to what I have read or heard. So I will make a general outline that tends to expand over the course of writing. Sit down. Oftentimes I'll write 100, 200 words. And then the next morning, which I like to write in the morning if possible, I sit down and start elaborating on it. And this is more just a flow. I try to get into a flow, just let the words kind of go from my fingertips into the keyboard and onto the screen. The information flow, what consciousness flow, I think is what I've heard people call it. It tends to take on a life of its own, goes in one direction, goes in another. Then generally the next day I start organizing that and then adding to it and fleshing out the concepts that I have in there. Usually the next day I start refining it and correcting grammatical errors. I always find typos at that stage as well. And what I've noticed is that Google Docs is now their automatic spelling correct is not nearly as good as it used to be. They changed something in their algorithms. So often now, the last, 2 weeks, I've been going over it. It's like, what am I saying there? Because it gets the word totally wrong. And I have to go back in and figure out exactly what word I meant. That is a little bit of a hassle sometimes. And then the next day, I again go through, proofread it, and tend to add a little bit more. The addition I make that day may not be as important. It usually gives some idea of what I have done in the past. So whether you're interested in how I've dealt with things or not will determine whether you think that that is a useful bit of information or not. And probably that day and the day before, I also start working on graphics. So let's see the graphics I have going on here for this next post. It's about 10 things that require zero talent. And when I read that, I just think, is that really true? Oh, really? You're telling me it takes absolutely no talent to be on time? Well, there's quite a bit of planning that goes into that many times. And also you have to have some predictive ability. You have to have some predictive skills to be able to determine how you're going to, especially when you're going a long distance and it's taking, let's say if it takes over an hour, you're going to need more predictive skills and more planning skills than if it's down the street and takes 5 minutes. So that is what I usually do for a blog post. And this one that I'm working on now, I'm also thinking of adding video to it. That complicates it even more. I will probably post it before I add the video. It's coming up really soon. I'm just about done. I have to do one more proofread and then get it in the WordPress and format it and add all the meta tags and all that sort of thing, which takes a little bit of extra work as well. And that's an important part of it. Go through, look and see if there's anything I need to do to really help with the SEO, and then hit publish, and then hit publish again, the new WordPress workflow. Sit back and see what happens. I generally monitor it, and then it's not just sit back and see what happens, because you're not done yet. Once you get that blog post posted and published, you're not really finished. You need to go in there and you need to, let me just check something here. Oh yeah, good. You need to go in there and you need to promote it. So then I start posting LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, what else? YouTube. I usually do a short video for YouTube. Used to do Twitter. I still am, but I'm a little bit on the fence with Twitter these days. And then often I post to Tumblr as well. And I may post this one to Pinterest. I have a pretty active Pinterest group. And it's a great place to post if you're blogging. That's going to about do it for today. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, get in touch with me. I am starting to do coaching, video coaching, to help people feel more comfortable on camera, as well as coaching for doing telemarketing to help people feel more comfortable making phone calls, and also for doing blogging and website development. I'm not going to be doing websites anymore, but I will certainly help you on your journey through getting your blog set up and getting on a blogging schedule, as well as a social media schedule, so that it becomes more a habit. And a lot of our behavior is controlled by habit, something that I've the last year really been experimenting with on developing new habits. I have all my life, but I've been formalizing it, turning it into a system over the last year. So I am hoping that this finds you in good spirits during the holiday season. Have a wonderful day. Wishing you the very best. Bye-bye.